Hey guys, and welcome back. Just give me a second here.
Yeah,
We're
after
going
these
to,
messages, we'll be right back. Might be too old for you guys.
And yeah, we're good. So basically, we're going to see Carl coming in here, who was the standing regent. Bans for this round were the let's do that. Bans for this round were the Boba 7th for Carl was banned, and the Sabine Ezra for Outrun was banned. So we have some interesting decks for Carl actually here. He's coming in with the Yoda vehicles first.
The alternative vehicle hero.
I think that he might have been looking to try to go ahead and hit the OTK of Outrun because the resource disruption is incredibly strong with Yoda special chaining into the Ezra specials early. But then again, you still have the same control issues as the other vehicle deck, which is not a lot of direct damage.
Yeah, even less than this this iteration.
But against Boba 7th, only 21 health. If you get enough indirect damage out there, maybe you have a chance.
Yeah, definitely a lot easier to kill than the...
Ouch. So I don't know if he mulliganed hard enough here, hitting no vehicles. It's not going to be good. But he does have easy pickings. He does have friends in low places to help.
And the Rally 8 and Tech Team, right? So really his goal this round is just to control and get those ramp
options going.
Pieces in
Hope he draws into like 4 vehicles next round.
Yep, and just got them all out there.
Well, looks like interesting. So Carl's going to choose his own battlefield. Just looking to... this battlefield is interesting. So it's Imperial Academy. While you control this battlefield after you activate Beta Support, you may roll its die. So basically, the way that this deck works is actually a deck I did on my casual channel a while back. You run the Ground Battalion to take control of the battlefield, and you activate that first every round, and then every time you activate all these supports, you get to reroll them. Wow. And you can also afford to play cards like Defensive Position that require the battlefield. It's kind of neat. Doesn't always work, but Defensive Position is so strong that you can see it potentially just blowing out an entire turn of OTK. Like they roll out and you just hit all of their secret droid dice.
Yeah. Yeah. Neat is our inside joke for when something could be good, but probably isn't like tier 1. But neat.
But you do have access to so much blowout removal between Into the Garbage Chute, exhausting just that rookie pilot over there, the easy pickings, force misdirection if you want to run it, and best defense. Defense position rather. Yep. So pretty nuts roll there, and you'll notice that it perfectly avoided easy pickings.
Wow.
Not a good first happenings. We're gonna see Tech Team exhausted to play the Rally 8. So as you said, he's just looking to kind of ramp this turn.
How much damage is that?
6 damage, so can't quite kill Ezra or Yoda yet.
Going straight for Yoda.
I think you roll out Yoda here just to potentially be able to resolve shields if he needs to. Think you take... He doesn't like you or the lightsaber pull.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, those are your only options.
Probably he doesn't like you.
Gotta roll the Yoda out here pretty soon.
I mean, that's just what Boba sister can do. Just a ton of damage on your base sides.
And looks like 4 more damages coming in.
Oh my gosh.
So if Yoda does not roll a special here or a shield, he's dead.
In 2 actions, but yeah.
Yeah. So this is pretty scary, but he does hit that Yoda special.
Also, still perfectly avoided easy pickings. He played really well around that by not rolling in Boba. Because he would have got hit.
So this is why Boba 7th is a good deck, guys. You just roll out and you're just like, oops, 10 damage.
Yep.
I
mean, and it's not uncommon to hit that, especially when you get an ancient first turn, to hit that 10 damage.
the rethinks his decision, decides the Boba special for the 2. I have to see the shields come out here.
Is that a truce?
Truce, which is obviously pretty good there with the Ezra.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, special, turn to Yoda special.
Well, you can truce first and then do
Mhm.
special into special to steal the resource.
So here it comes. We're going to see at least one shield taken.
I hope. Slippery dice.
Going to take that. It's like another shield, potentially.
I think you have to just protect him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's so low right now.
And then Ezra special.
You're gonna start the turn with 5 resources, a tech team, and a rally aid. I don't think you really need an extra resource there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty weak first turn draw there. Just missing the vehicles. It's gonna potentially come back to just completely eliminate his chance at winning this game.
Yeah. I think you actually have to just claim here and not worry about the pilot, right?
You can see that Maul's Saber taken out.
Probably gonna overwrite.
Mm-hmm.
And do a ton of damage. This is one of those games where you can afford to get Maul Saber. You can't always get it out just because everybody focuses the sister so fast. But with no pressure, you can afford to ramp up like that, and that's going to be huge damage if he hits the Boba special in the 3 or the 4.
Mm-hmm. So he has a choice between resolving that rookie pilot resource or claiming. He's going to go ahead and just claim. Makes sense. He has so much resource gen tools sitting there. He doesn't need it.
And actually, that's an interesting decision to reroll with Abandon All Hope, because he could have played that first action and just taken 5 resources, or, I mean, I guarantee you wouldn't have discarded his hand. Unless it was that bad.
So we are looking here at only a single support drawn, and not the one you'd like to have seen. So,
Lookout Post has mostly modified sides too, doesn't it?
Correct. It is +2, +3, +3.
Sides. Which
so,
none of your dice can hit.
Nope. It typically goes with other dice in the deck, like Booma's, Ground Battalion, but not his game. You see that Shoto drop?
Mm-hmm.
I think here you just have to pray that tons of the same sides are rolled, and you can easy pickings for 4 dice.
Yep. That is a lot of potential damage on Boba's sister's side.
Mm-hmm. Sister's gonna roll. I think he's thinking about this because he's thinking about the Shoto proc. If he rolls Sister here now, he won't get to use the Shoto. But I guess he wants the better chance at threatening the Yoda kill.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a focus, +2, and a shield. So not much here, guys. Nothing that can kill, at least.
Well, that's why that one droid die is just so crucial. When you hit the focus, it's so good.
Discard hits the Maul Saber. Pretty lucky discard there.
But I don't think you even need it at this point. Your Vibro Cutlass acts as a second Maul Saber. Not quite as good, but still really powerful.
Guess you just easy pickings the blanks while you can.
I think you have to. I learned that lesson the hard way. You always easy pickings the blanks when you can.
But that Boba special here is going to be enough to go ahead and pick off that Yoda. So goodbye, Yoda. It's nice knowing you. See you next year. Or potentially next game. Next game will be Yoda Partisans.
That's true.
If he can't pull a miracle out here. And he rolls a 1+ here.
Wow.
So Ezra's just like, I got you covered. Reroll is coming in. Looking to hit at least one good side, and then focus the other with the Seeker Droid. Shield, blank, not ideal at all, but also not terrible.
Still has 2 rerolls. I don't think we're worried about getting more upgrades on this side.
Roll in that chance cube, get some more money. A few
3.
resource.
Not 2.
Another reroll coming in.
I don't even know who you deal damage to. Deal that 3 to if you're the hero vehicle player. I guess. Boba?
I think you have to go for the 7th Sister.
I guess.
I mean, ultimately, when he gets vehicles, I don't think he'll be dealing any direct damage anyways, so
That's true.
shouldn't matter.
Just kind of put the.
So maybe do go for Boba. Help waste the Shoto procs.
Yeah.
And I think the correct choice is definitely the 3 to Boba. It's going to go ahead and do that, so well played there. Nope, never mind. Sister it is.
Whoops.
Sister it is, guys.
Apparently there's some lag.
3 to Ezra makes sense. 2 resources resolved from that chance cube. We'll likely see.
Every vehicle on the deck.
He should definitely play that lookout post because he can only play it while he has control of the battlefield.
Yep.
So.
He's got a tech team. Or tech team for tech team. He'll still get the chance. To use.
You have to tech team because you can't even play it if he misses. Oh, free. Or actually, he has to exhaust that to make it free because it is only vehicles reduced by 2. It's not a vehicle. But a pretty insane size for a 2-drop.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's interesting. Gotta love having the off-meta decks show up every once in a while.
Would still be good with in the Ayla deck too because she's got the base indirect sides to go with it.
And I think people underestimate Runaway Boomas, especially oddly enough with a card like Planned Explosion, because you can roll in the second Runaway Boomas die at the same time as the first. So Runaway Boomas alone, just like the Resistance Bomber, can show 6 value.
Yeah, very easily.
And a 10 just nukes Night Sister in this current meta. So
yep.
Even like the chance cubes, I'm not sure if he's running Planned Explosion or not. It would be hilarious to see him Planned Explosion the Sister next turn, though. We do have that Force Illusion sitting there, so unfortunately that won't do much. But
I ran Planned Explosion in the...
A single vehicle, guys. We are not drawing what we need.
In the Ayla Rose Ezra version, I ran Planned Explosion, and it hit all the time for me. I mean, it was a huge part of taking out Bro TK and making that matchup good.
Planned Explosion is one of those divisive cards that everyone either hates or loves. So he's going to see 4 1-drop removal cards here. Kind of frustrating, but he does have close quarters. So depending upon the order of events here, we could see a close quarters assault shut down that control. Double tech team. Play that Resistance Bomber for 1. Because he needs to save the other 6 resources sitting there. But now we do have the base sides for that lookout post. So if he just hadn't drawn such a all of his removal in the first half of the game, maybe we could have seen a much closer. Because as I said, 21 health on Boba's Sister, not much.
No. Yeah, the vehicle deck was not what I wanted to see in the regional one we played, and I did not.
Nice.
I was happy about it.
I was pretty happy when I played a vehicle.
Yeah.
I got the Force Wave turn 1.
Yep. That's always clutch against 3 characters.
So resolve that 2 before rolling out. He knows that easy pickings is in his hand. Makes a lot of sense. Think you wait because you get a reroll on that resistance bomber over there. But he's going to roll out the rookie pilot first. Just a couple of resources. Which is not what he's hoping for.
All the resources.
Going to see a reroll here. Not a lot going on. He's going to easy pickings the 2 1s. Which makes sense. That's actually going to avoid the close quarters, which is pretty big.
Yeah.
You do have a bait and switch available to the Boba 7th player. And I believe that is sitting on a resource. It is.
Mm-hmm.
So Boba 7th. New best deck?
I don't know if it's the best deck. It doesn't have very many bad matchups. I never felt like I sat down across from somebody and just said, "Oh no, I'm in real trouble."
Mm-hmm.
Because it can do so much first turn damage or first round damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then every upgrade in the deck is so strong, and especially in the meta where you've got Maul Saber and Ancients running around, Boba by himself and Resistance Bomber.
Mm-hmm.
Boba by himself can just threaten so much. Like if you hit a double Boba special, they almost don't want to roll out their big character.
You're going to see that bait and switch into close quarters to hit the remaining 2 cards from Carl's hands. Makes sense.
Close quarters.
He's going to protect this focus over to whatever he wants on Boba. I think you roll out this Lookout Post to try to resolve the Resistance Bomber together with Lookout Post before Boba can be on a special.
Mm-hmm.
That special will deal 3. But he's going to go ahead and just resolve the 3 resources. It's important to be thinking ahead, thinking about the max damage potential out here. And Boba threatening that special is just like, hey, I'm going to deal 3 to you, unless you give up your Lookout Post die. 3 Endor coming in. It's going to deal 2 to Ezra with that special.
It's funny, Boba's sister, actually I was surprised at how well a fair deck, I mean it's kind of the fairest deck of them all. The fairest deck of the top tier right now. It's only really got bait and switch, so and then you've got, I mean your only other trick is close quarters assault, but that's not really a trick. It's not doing any of the action cheating, but it still manages to just have such a consistent game and such a level damage, high level damage output. That's able to hang with all the craziness of OTK and Sabine Ezra.
I have seen a couple of Boba 7s try to run 4 speed, which is a little bit risky because a lot of people target 7th sister early. But if you do get that early, I mean, free action cheats is pretty strong.
That's the problem, and I think that's the reason I like one Maul Saber. What's happening here?
He's trying to get his cards into his hand. They're not going into his hand because they're stacked.
Oh, I see. Yeah, and that's the reason for only one Maul Saber is that usually everybody just goes for sister, and if you draw that Maul Saber late, it just feels really bad. It's just a dead card. You really want those 2-drop upgrades to be able to play on either character.
So he's finally drawn his supports here, and he actually can deal a lot of damage now. Between Ground Battalion, Mortar Team. He has a defensive position for this turn, so hey, if Sister rolls out into all 2s...
And he has all the money in the world.
Mortar Team is another one of those cards you just never see, but it's got 4 damage sides, and with the plus sides on
Lookout Post.
Lookout Post. It just kind of makes sense in the deck. We're gonna see blank resource
It's
disrupt.
actually fine.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's about as good as it could have gotten.
If he rerolls, you can hit the defensive position.
Ideally, you see like Boba roll out into like disrupt, reroll once into all twos, and we can see all the dice removed. He's going to use the Imperial Academy's ability to reroll it.
Twice to a blank.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that feel your anger.
Just going to drop the heirloom before rolling out. See what Mortar Team can do here. One indirect, so quite possibly the worst side of the game is one indirect.
He also still has to go through a Force illusion too, so. Is that special?
Special
God.
3.
That's the and against the defensive position and a into the garbage chute.
Carlos saying absolutely brutal.
Pretty much the most perfect roll you can have against that. So do you garbage chute here, or do you have to do something or you're dead?
I think you garbage shoot and you have to save that defensive position for just a lucky blowout.
But
roll.
he's never going to change the Boba specials, so really there's no way out of this, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna go ahead in defensive position to remove that 3. But yeah, he can't even like roll on his Lookout Post, re-roll that. Uses his bomber.
That's actually how I won one of my games against OTK in the Fargo regional, because I rolled out double Boba special, and he had to roll out Maul's saber, and he hit the 4, and I ended up killing both his characters with that.
You see this re-roll coming here?
And he's saving that resource for the bait and switch.
Plus 3.
Which is plenty.
He's going to go ahead and play the into the garbage chute to remove a couple of these dice.
So I think you bait and switch and deal... Oh, he's still got 5 health, though.
Going to bait and switch and deal the 4. But Carl is all out of tricks here. So it looks like we will be most likely moving on to game 2 here.
There it is, Ground Battalion. Kaboom.
Kaboom. Its ability is actually insane.
I know, it is really good.
Just being able to take the battlefield every turn. And as I said, with Imperial Academy, it's kind of an amusing interaction. Especially when you're rolling dice like Runaway Boomas, which is, they have the half damage, half blanks. The reroll is pretty necessary there. So it looks like we have our first loss here. We're going to go ahead and...
I can definitely see that deck having games where it just goes off and chains a bunch of vehicles out and can do a lot of indirect damage.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a Johnny combo deck.
It's definitely a Johnny combo deck. It's the combination of having access to all the blowout removal and just the resource control of Yoda. We're going to go ahead and reset this game for them.
It's actually another thing I found to be powerful about the Boba Sister deck is that a lot of those powerful removals don't hit Boba 7th that well.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just saw there, into the garbage chute and easy pickings. Like there's a lot of different sides and there's a lot of non-damage sides that can really hurt you in the deck. Plus you've got bait and switch, so a resource side is a potential damage side on the cheat.
So now we're going to see the bipartisan Yoda coming in.
I did try this deck, actually. It can mill really quickly if you get out those Force Meditations.
It looks like he does run Espanian, so we will see after setup both players discarding a top card of their deck.
Wait, what is he running?
It's the 1-cost plot.
Espionage?
Same difference. Same difference.
Espionage. I love it.
Just ignore Will, guys. I'm now the dictionary, and I decide how things are pronounced. Oof. Look at that first draw there. Not much for the Boba 7th.
I think with no 2-drop, I usually go for the full 5-card mulligan.
Double Scrap Heap.
Wow, that's a good start. I love played the Hero Mill in Wisconsin and loved hitting that double Scrap Heap. It's so good.
You do see a Philp here for the Boba 7th and an Ancient, so you could see a lot of damage come out. Friends in Low Places will hit the end of the garbage chute. So you can still see a Force Illusion. And here's a card you don't see often.
I actually do like that card. I almost played it in the Hero Mill Riken deck. And I think it can really prolong the game. The difference between this deck and that deck is that in the Riken Mill, you're really pumping out shields with Entrenched and I can't remember the other card, but Air Superiority. But in here, you really don't have as much shield generation. You just got Caution.
Gonna see that Ancient Lightsaber drop right away.
The other critical card you're losing in the non-red Hero Mill is Fallback, which can be a blowout against Boba 7th.
Definitely. I think if this has one advantage, it's having 2 yellow characters to keep easy pickings online all game.
That's true.
And second chance at the end of the game is pretty much guaranteed.
Yep.
But as you said, fallback is so huge at times.
There you go. Got it.
Garbage chute right away. Just going to hit 2 of the 2 damage sites. Makes sense. I'm surprised that he didn't Friends in Low Places before rolling out.
He does have to tap a character, but there we go. Yeah, usually you do want to make sure that they have no removal in their hand with Boba 7th as your early action. Or at least know, once you see their hand with Friends in Low Places, you can kind of plan out the turn. Honestly, Sarcastic talked a lot about that in his last vlog, about really planning your turns out, planning the round out when you know their hand, especially with like Thrawn.
And who does Honestly Sarcastic represent?
I can't say it.
The Hyperloops. So let's see here.
What's going on with these Boba dice? I can't see them. Oh, there we go.
We're gonna see if Friends in Low Places coming now. A little bit too late. There are no events in here.
Yeah. Yeah, this could have been a huge turn.
You see a 2 indirect rolled. Oddly enough, you could see actually he doesn't like you, just to prevent the 2 mil.
Yeah, he's got no other indirect sides there.
Go ahead and adjust the screen there. That 2 arranged is going to be dealt to the Yoda, hitting nothing but shields. I think you just immediately resolve the 2 indirect here. That gives you another resource to potentially then play your other Scrap Heap. But you're going to see reroll into a special and a disrupt. So we will likely see a special chain with Yoda.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about the double Scrap Heap. You can play the first one and then pay for the second one off the first one.
You're going to see him hit the deck and take a shield or a resource.
Ancient.
Ancient is great to see there. I mean, he already has 1 Ancient on the board, but obviously...
when you can get 2 out, it just prolongs the game too long for Mills. It can give you trouble at the end of the game. It's good to see that early.
He's going to play his other Scrap Heap. And he's going to probably resolve that 2 indirect just to get the... You have to. He doesn't like you here.
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't.
No, chooses not to. Indirect's going to come in and mill twice from the top of the deck.
Yeah, 1 discard to prevent a resource and 2 mil.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like that would have been good there.
And that diplomatic protection or whatever is going to come down. So when he dies, both the partisans are getting a couple shields. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Now we'll take a look at Carl's hand here.
Wow, lots of good removal.
Easy pickings, Lothcat, Electroshock, Bespin Wingguard, and Caution.
Oh my gosh, that's a good hand.
And with the double scrap heap, he can pay for all of that.
Yep, easily.
Well Connected is going to give him another card, which he'll easily be able to play as well.
Oh my gosh, Maz's Goggles.
This could be a huge turn. Caution, easy pickings, so above the curve.
But we do have an heirloom coming down on this side.
Mm-hmm. We're going to see that Bespin Wingguard dropped right away. This card is like the C-3PO if you lack C-3PO. Yeah. So exhausting it to just automatically force a discard from the hand is so key for hero mill.
I've usually found it to be too expensive to kind of be using it every turn in the mill deck, but with double scrap heap out, I mean, that's just perfect fuel for it.
Double scrap heap and Yoda, who already tends to generate a lot of resources.
Yep.
It is just going to discard right away. It's that he doesn't like you. Looking to restrict hand options this turn from the get-go. And now we'll see what type of luck this sister can get. So rolls a couple twos, so easy pickings is going to hit the 2 twos. Such a great removal card.
It's too good.
Yeah, well, it's too good for it to only belong to one color.
That's true. Yeah.
If there were a couple more cards, any of the 1-cost remove 2 or more dice are pretty brutal.
Overconfidence. Well, that's kind of a soft removal in a
defensive position, force misdirection.
Yep. Into the garbage chute.
They're all great. We do see the 2 indirect rolled right away. So we're going to see a couple of resources coming in, which is pretty big because then he'll be able to afford the Maz's Goggle and the Electroshock. And a reroll here into
Double Disrupt.
Double Disrupt and a special on Boba.
This is actually going perfectly for the mill.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine a better start. The only thing that could potentially be bad for him is that early hyperspace jump that was hit by espionage.
Espionage. I'm calling it that from now on.
We actually see the 2 disrupt sides are resolved. Interesting choice there. I guess rerolling is not always the best against mill because you have the chance of just it's health, right?
Yep, your health is that card. You only get 30 of them.
Shield. So not what he was hoping for. He really would have preferred a special there.
Still not bad though. I mean, he's in great shape with what is that? 6 damage on you? 5 damage on you?
3 damage.
Oh, that was only 2 ones. Okay. That was a +3.
He decided to not resolve those and just resolve the 1.
Keeps forgetting that you have to resolve the Boba special first. I did that once in the tournament, and I was
like
embarrassed because I missed like a 3.
Question is, does he reroll here to look for that Yoda special so that he can play the Maz's Goggles, or does he just roll out first? We'll see what he hits here. 2 indirect. Not what he wants there at this point because he already triggered the abilities.
So now I think you have to reroll.
Yeah, I think you reroll once.
Caution Yoda, reroll with Electroshock or something.
Caution is so good. Gonna delay this game a lot.
Probably reroll with Lothcat.
That or Electroshock. Even Maz's Goggles potentially, but Maz's Goggles is good for the late game, potentially hitting the card out of the hand.
Electroshock is probably a little bit better in this situation because you have a ton of resources and you're probably not going to be rolling out before them because they have the battlefield. So I'd probably keep Electroshock and reroll with the Lothcat.
Especially since it can hit those key Boba specials.
Yep.
We do hit that Yoda special. He's going to take it to mill 1. Flip to another Yoda special, and he's going to probably mill 1 and take a resource. And we'll see if he chooses to drop the Maz's Goggles right away here on one of the... I think you do, because even if you don't really want to keep it, you can just overwrite it with a second chance later on in the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason not to try to get the value out of the card. He's going to have to search for that card over there. Unfortunate that some of the cards just don't spawn dice properly. But it is what it is.
It's free.
So if you're a Boba 7th and you're looking at him and he's like perfectly set up and you have dealt almost no damage to that lineup, it pulls out a Moss.
Whoops.
What are you trying to do here to come back into this game?
I think you just have to. I mean, you're hoping to hit a Vibro Knife right here. I think is your best bet. I think we saw one taken out, but that's your best shot to get around those Yoda shields. What's he on 6 right now?
Mm-hmm.
Which is definitely you have a potential if you hit a bait and switch. You can get the +3 on the Ancient, a +2 on the Vibro, and something else you can, and then like the 3. Oh my gosh, what just happened?
He drew all 15 of his cards. It's okay though. He's gonna.
Oh my gosh, what's happening? What a disaster!
It's a disaster. So it's one of those annoying things where if you accidentally press the key twice, like instead of pressing like 4 there and he presses 4-4, you dump 44 cards. So
I can't make fun of anybody because I'm terrible at the interface.
That's that Vibro Knife there, and the Shoto, which is pretty good actually for consistency and just removing those shields.
Yep, I'm not sad about this. You just got that Vibro Knife out on Sister and roll out.
It might, in my opinion, it might just be the Shoto, just because it can't miss.
It's true. I mean, you get the 1 extra, then it's got a 1-1-2 side. 1 + 1 + 2.
We do see strength through weakness, so we'll potentially see 4 more cards hit from the top of the deck here.
How many do we have left here? Like 8?
11. So you could see.
Getting close.
Yep.
You did play the Vibro.
Vibro and using the ambush action to roll out 3 + 3.
Oh, too bad he doesn't have that bait and switch.
So he's going to go ahead and overconfidence there. Reroll the 2 3s. This is the reason why overconfidence is so good, because when they do hit max out, just even the soft control on 1 dice, even though it's like not very reliable in a sense, it usually will benefit you immensely. Like there, from 6 damage to 0 damage showing. Gonna see Boba come in here, and with another overconfidence and another electroshock here. Do you just electroshock Boba special? I don't think so, because there's so little damage showing right now. It's just 1. I think you might try to roll out Yoda here just to get another resource to be able to afford multiple removal.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get some dice in the pool here.
It's just gonna electroshock right away.
I mean, that does prevent blowout reroll from really hurting you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not mad about that. You can really discard your removal here because you don't really want to use it ever on any of those dice over there. I mean, I think you still should have at the beginning of the game with that he doesn't like you on the indirect, but here it's pretty much useless.
We see 2-2-1 rolled, so that is still a good roll there. So 6 damage overall. We'll have to go through the shields on Yoda there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be tough to get through because then you've got an extra 2 health, theoretically, on the partisans with that diplomatic protection.
Mm-hmm. Think you got to get out Yoda here because there's a small chance that Yoda dies this turn. Yeah. So you want to make use of his dice if at all possible. We're going to see a special. So we're going to see possibly 2 mil. I'd like to see a resource come out. So maybe
he's gonna get 2 from the scrap heaps. So really, you could just mill 2, and then take a shield on a partisan or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking maybe the play is to snipe a partisan or attempt to, but I don't know if you can actually. Right. Did he forget to roll a sister? No, he rolled it.
Mm-hmm.
Or a 99.
He's going to reroll that Boba. If he hits that 2 melee, he will have the snipe option. But special and other stuff will not do it. So he rolls the Disrupt. And yeah, here's going to come that classic Yoda milling. Trigger the 2 scrap heaps. Get 2 resources. And flip the other Yoda special, most likely. Oh, no. Nope. Yep, yeah, he will flip the other Yoda special. He's going to take another card and another resource. So I think he might be looking for the strength through weakness play here, or at least triggering another Bespin Wingguard.
Does that put us at 9 cards left in the game? 7 cards?
He is sitting at 9 cards left. So if he hits that 4, and
because he hasn't rolled Partisan in yet, so you could potentially go down to 7 cards here. 6, 5, 4, 3. It's looking
grim. So Outrun, who is looking for the come from behind, or not come from behind, who is looking for the complete sweep, is looking like he might lose a game here to this Yoda Partisan Mill. And now we could see this 8 damage go right into that Maz's Goggles. I would have preferred to have seen the Overconfidence played. Just because he can easily...
you don't need to mill the 4 cards right now. You could do it next
right.
time, you're saying. Yeah.
That's basically perfect.
Yep.
Getting the 2 mill guaranteed and a resource there. So we're going to see 6 damage come in, which is going to put Yoda at 9.
Just not enough.
Probably just resolve that 2 indirect.
But the Boba 7th still has to do 21 damage next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is going to be really hard. And maybe we'll get an extra turn out of this, or extra round, sorry.
Mm-hmm. So he's just going to have 3 cards remaining because that Wingguard is definitely taking his last card with that Maz's Goggle resource there.
And then he can Ancient Heal at the end of the next turn, but he has to do it before or after like Partisan and Yoda have done their thing.
So many options to hit the top of the deck.
Yeah.
It seems unlikely that Ancient can do enough.
Yeah, probably won't get another round.
I think he's thinking about overriding that card with the Shoto.
He's just going to lose it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, the Vibro Knife could be critical if you can get around those 2 shields with a lucky big modified roll.
We'll see what is rolled here. Another resource, so 2 resources will be resolved. And we're going to see a Wingguard triggered. So yeah, 3 cards. Now they're all in hand now, which is much harder for heroes to deal with. But he's got time. He's got loads of time with how much health is remaining on this board here. 2 friends in low places.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And 3 events that he can hit. So this turn is basically...
just Filp, and then Best Win Wingguard.
Wow, it's perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better hand. Oh, that's so rough.
Wow, I don't think this game... So the previous game went about as bad as it could have possibly gone for Carl. He drew no supports in the first 2 hands. This game, 2 scrap heaps, turn 1. All the control in the world, multiple easy pickings.
That second hand
garbage shoot.
So much control in it. Yep.
This is just wow.
Especially when playing against Boba 7th because they don't have all the cheats. That control just becomes so much better. Like if you were playing against a Sabine Ezra.
You do see the choosing of the close quarters there, which makes, I believe, the most sense.
Yeah.
Because, you know...
you don't want to lose that second.
Ultimately, it's unlikely Boba 7th would choose to play any card, but that one is the most disruptive.
Yep. By some miracle, he hit all 4 sides and got rid of his hand.
But even there, then he'd have to give up his only cards left.
That's true.
To do so.
You can still Ancient Heal, but then you're going to lose it. Yeah, you're right.
Going to see that Force Illusion triggered. And we're going to see another Friends in Low Places come out. So at this point, Outrun's just like, why?
I don't think the sister is exhausted right now, is she?
No, she's not. She is not rolled. But
What do you think is better, doubt or hidden motive? We've been having this discussion.
I think doubt is better.
Yeah.
But I ultimately think they might actually be even.
Yeah, just doubt's better if your opponent rolls poorly, and hidden motive's better if your opponent rolls well.
Right, but it's more likely that they'll roll poorly because usually dice have 33% damage sides.
Yeah.
Or 50%. So it's very rarely is it like, 66% damage side.
We're seeing a lot more better dice coming out.
So here comes Seventh Sister. And this is just looking pretty bad here.
I don't even think it's mathematically possible.
I mean, he can Ancient, but then all he has to do is resolve a single indirect side.
Mm-hmm. I mean, plus we've got Control, plus we've got Caution.
Overconfidence comes out, and it rerolls into the +3. So we're going to see 4 come in. One discard.
He's just going to use that to Caution.
I don't know. I think all he needs to do is get one indirect side, and he wins. So I don't think you Caution here.
That's true. You're not wrong.
So, because that Ancient...
But you do have 2 focuses on the Maz's Goggles and a reroll for this Partisan.
Right, but Partisan's not dying this turn.
That's true.
So I don't know. That Caution is a little bit questionable with only 1 reroll.
Yep, I agree.
But we'll see. And a focus is rolled. So there is no way out of this. It's going to be the 2 indirect. And yep. That will be it.
Checkmate.
So we have our first defeat of Outrun. If we can find this here. So we will be going on to our final game here, guys. For the King of the Hill. For that, the pride of being the king. The first ever king of King of the Hill.
Do we ever get to be kings?
I don't know.
Do we get the challenge? Do you challenge the council? So we're going to have a special when the person who's won the most King of the Hills can challenge the council. Mm-hmm. It'll be like the Pokemon gyms.
So now it's going to be in our final matchup, OTK versus. Oh, I put the Lost on the wrong deck. I just realized here. I am so sorry, guys. It was his vehicles that lost, not his mill. Oops.
Whoops.
Sorry there, guys. But yeah, what do you think? OTK or mill?
I have to say, I think OTK has a way better matchup here. Like I said, the problem with Boba 7th against the mill deck is that you're not really doing anything to... Like, you have to have your dice out there to hit their hand with close quarters assault. So, whereas Seventh Sister, you can just hit those discard sides, and you've got a lot more ways you can extend your hand. Yeah, you got the probe. You can also boundless and then extend your hand even more and just continue.
But if you boundless, you're also potentially just making that win condition hit that much earlier.
But all you need is that one turn where they don't have anything for you, and you can just basically wreck their whole board and take out maybe 2 characters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is so much good removal in Hero Mill that they could just overcome a bunch of damage. The problem is if he gets Maul Saber early, that reroll can be huge.
Mm-hmm.
if Hero Milk can't keep shields up.
I don't know. We'll have to see here.
We'll have to see what Espionage hits.
We do see Seeker Droid right away, which could be nice, potentially.
I think they missed Espionage. Oh, no. They haven't finished.
He hasn't chosen the battlefield yet.
Yeah.
It's going to go with the... let's see.
Watch this hit Maul Saber. Oh, wow.
Price of failure,
That's actually
right?
even worse.
Away. That
Oh my
hurts.
Gosh. Hurts a lot.
So, question. If you Guardian that 2 indirect side of the Jedha, does it trigger the Jedha's ability?
It does not, because Guardian is remove the die,
Mm-hmm.
not resolve the die, like it said in the first set on the card text.
Yep, he's going to see that right away, that immediate Guardian.
Which is also a benefit of OTK
Mm-hmm.
in this matchup versus the Boba Sister matchup.
And a 2 ranged roll looks like here, so that's pretty good for them.
Oof, good start.
I think that... Let's see here. Huh? That's funny. Have you seen that card?
Yeah.
Just a guaranteed indirect there. Triggers the Jedha ability and also gets another discard.
Yep.
Interesting. No scrap heaps this game, which is obviously...
Oof, that's like crazy, those indirect sides.
And he's just going to Guardian it right away. So, I don't know. Maybe you leave the Jedhas until later and roll them out later on in the turn. Play stuff like your Friends in Low Places right now.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
That is a pretty good roll there. See the Electroshock? Be interested to see which die he chooses.
Pretty sure he chooses Sister so that he has to resolve taking multiple actions.
It's going to take that Seeker Droid there.
Either way. It does reduce the other Seeker discard.
So yeah, that battlefield choice here is pretty big.
Oh, he must have bumped it up. Yeah, still on Disrupt.
2 into Partisan.
Yeah, that battlefield choice is key in this matchup, I think.
Although if Hero Mill can get control of the battlefield, having 3 wide Guardian is a pretty big deal as well.
Yeah, so maybe Hero Mill aggressively does play for the battlefield here.
4 damage already into one of the Partisans is not what you want to see. We're going to see a Friends in Low Places played?
Reroll.
Or not. Reroll into double Yoda Special. So it doesn't get much better than that. I'd like to see a couple resources, and probably a shield or 2.
And then what do you do? Wingguard. You could actually Wingguard and what's that
Explosive
card called?
Tactics.
Explosive Tactics.
Which could actually be a way to actually trigger the Jedha ability this turn.
And then you get the full 4-card mill, and you can't use Bespin Wingguard because you only have 3 resources.
Mm-hmm. Silly me, I never started the round timer, guys. So this one is going as long as it lasts.
I don't think this will go too much longer.
So you gotta get out the pinks, I suppose, in your first ever stream, King of the Hills.
Sometimes you draw 44 cards.
Just gonna hit the deck again and take another resource.
Ooh.
Boundless hit, although Boundless is kind of a double-edged sword right now.
See, I think Boundless is still good though, just because you can get that blowout turn, even though you're getting rid of 4 or 5 cards. Oh, yeah.
You're gonna see that Explosive Tactics come in. Now, if this hits a 0, it won't deal indirect damage.
It's true. So you take it off of their deck, right?
Oof!
Oh, it does hit the 0.
Carlos is like, no! So, sad face for Carl there. That's a 3 mil difference. Well, 2 mil difference.
Yeah.
No, oops. He drew 5 cards.
Warning. Everybody's got a warning.
It's okay. It's preseason, guys. It's like, yeah.
Tell him to shuffle his deck. At least.
Shuffle your deck. So yeah, at this point, I think OTK is pretty well set up without scrap heaps for the hero mill, with missing the mill on the first turn, and with the 4 damage already on one of the partisans.
And with a Maul Saber coming out right here, this could be really bad.
Just gonna get Guardian again if it hits that indirect side.
Yep.
It's a Disrupt instead, so the Maul Saber will be played immediately.
Yeah, maybe it was correct to just aggressively claim, but I don't know if he could have. He took a few more actions after that to get that Wing Guard and Explosive Tactics out.
Let's see what Yoda rolls here. Is a discard and a discard. Not really what he wants because you kind of need resources to do stuff in this game.
You want that at the end of the game when you're trying to rip those last few cards.
Let's go ahead and zoom in here. And a bunch of resources rolled, as well as a couple disrupts.
Not terrible, but
I think with the double disrupt threatened by that Seeker droid, you might want to actually play the Yoda's Hut here.
Nope. Roll all the things.
Special is rolled.
There you go. That's all you need. And then your dice are all.
Just gotta get that one special.
But that indirect side's still gonna get Guardian.
That +3 is rolled, as well as a discard on the Seeker droid.
But he's got garbage shoot, so. But again, still not going to get that 2 mil off the partisan ability because of the battlefield.
There is that potential to just hold on dice resolutions and go slow, but I think this turn you potentially just switch to like a resource on the partisan or a discard.
Probably.
Maybe try to get off a claim.
I mean, you might want to do the resource just to fuel that Wing Guard, so you get 1 discard instead of the 2 from the indirect.
But he also has just a discard side directly on the partisan that he can use.
Yep. That is true. And maybe get the claim.
You see a 1 rolled on that Night Sister. He's going to go ahead and hit top of the deck.
Oh.
It's a Maul Saber, but it doesn't really matter with
the Rise Again, yeah.
Well, he already has a Mauls on board, so it just...
Oh, he plays 2. Oh, yeah, you do play 2 Mauls in that deck. I forgot. I'm thinking of Boba 7th.
He's going to hit another one from the deck and probably take a resource here. I know I would, because as interesting as Yoda's Hut is, it has the potential right now to be good against Maul Saber, as well as just giving a resource. He is really thinking hard about this one.
I mean, the other thing is, you also might just Lothcat something here, so it might not even matter when he puts it to.
He's going to go for the reroll here.
Oh, wait. Did I miss something? What did he do with Yoda?
He took a resource
from
Yoda's ability. He's going to Bespin Wingguard here. I don't think that's the right choice. Like, this Yoda's Hut first gives you a resource anyways.
Yeah. If you get that shield.
Although he might be trying to make sure that he stays ahead of the curve right now in this turn, just to make sure that he claims to the battlefield, prevent those Guardians from coming out.
I don't know. I think you still end up getting the claim even if you play Yoda's Hut there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of rerolls this turn by the OTK player, so you're going to see him halfway gone with his deck. So it is not necessarily
no,
over.
He clicked the thing.
There.
That was a focus on the. That one was a focus. I'm sure of that. That was definitely a focus.
Well, if he chooses to roll in the blank, we won't dispute too much here.
I do
Lothcat
that all the time when I play on TTS.
goes in for the extra Seeker Dread die there, and he's going to just claim. Yeah, I really think that Carl needed to be going more aggressively for the battlefield there.
I don't know. I think I'm surprised he claimed there because he could have taken that resource, boundless, and gone for, a crazy turn there.
I don't know though. With so much health to still go through, it might just be too much. With only 15 cards left, that would draw him
Down
to have
10.
only 10 left in the deck.
But your opponent has no removal, no way to interact with your dice, and you've got a full or 2 damage on your your Night Sister.
Mm-hmm.
You could potentially do a ton of damage. Get rid of the shields. You can roll back in Maul Saber.
You see the Scrap Heap finally show up, as well as a Disarm.
Oh my gosh.
Easy pickings, and in Electroshock. So Disarm cannot hit the Seeker Droid, but it can hit the Maul Saber, but there are no 3 sides. Yeah. So not really any good targets out there, but Disarm is tech in there for cards like Ancient.
Yep. Still think.
See the rollout here?
Now you can get easy pickings. And there's
easy pickings on the Seekers. Seekers managed to roll the same sides.
Mauls, because he can't roll Mauls back in.
Mm-hmm. So one thing that he should definitely have done there is he should have pinged the green one, because the green one is the one that just stays out there.
Mm-hmm.
So Carl, when you watch this, hit the green dice. Always the green dice.
Yep.
The green dice are what add up and make the untaps unbelievably good. That probe there should be huge potentially this turn.
Yep.
Yeah,
one thing we haven't seen Outrun do is play his things that hit the hand first before he rolls in. I don't know if you do necessarily there, but
it might just be a concern that if it misses, you're just milling yourself. Because there was that one time where he played the Friends of Low Places in the last game, and it was like Force Illusion, Diplomatic Protection, and Scrap Heap.
Yep.
Right? If that happens now, then all you did was damage yourself.
Yep. Maybe you wait until towards the end of the turn and you can get his last 2 cards that he's sitting on.
So you activate Sienna. This both shuts off the leadership play if he had tried to boundless this turn, and it shuts off the battlefield ability. So no potential for Guardians this turn. That might actually be pretty big.
Yeah.
Let's see what this hits. A double focus. So that is really, really nice. It's going to give him 2 indirect on that one of the Partisans and another special on Yoda. And anytime you can just have a natural special on Yoda, it's much better than having to use the Yoda to turn a die.
You might actually special Yoda into special on Maz's Goggles and get rid of an event.
But instead, we're just going to see a best defense come out. We'll see what he hits. Goggles and the Yoda special?
Potentially just 2, yeah.
Both Yoda dice.
Because he knows he's going to get hit with the Partisan anyway, probably. So.
Activate that other Partisan there.
Now Partisan can do 2 indirect and then a discard on the other one, and then a Bespin Wingguard.
We have a 2 indirect. So we are looking at that. This would actually be good against that 1 resource there. Not a whole lot going on right now. I think he considered playing Doubt there.
No, I think he was thinking about rerolling. You mean Doubt that?
So at this point, Carl's turn is pretty straightforward. Play that Scrap Heap. Take that mill. Get that resource back. Remove what you can this turn. That Electroshock or Easy Pickings is going to be helpful when these rerolls come in.
It might be good for him to aggressively try for the claim so that But depending on if Outrun can kill this partisan.
Mm-hmm. I actually think he might have this in the bag almost. If you look here, 11. He's got like one more turn worth of hand, like because you know that the rest of his deck will be milled between the 2 coming this turn and then more milled coming next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much health on those partisans.
I don't know. I still think I would have liked to see the aggressive play last turn just to at least kill a character, maybe even kill Yoda if you get enough damage.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to reroll Maul Saber is so huge in OTK.
So a couple 1 damages, not going to be a huge deal. You could actually see an easy pickings come out again. I don't know if you do it on the 1s. You might save it for next turn.
Well, you might because then he can't roll back in Maul Saber.
That's correct. Although you do actually see 2 1 ranges as well. So.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, it's 1-1-1-1.
Yep.
Okay. Then the Maul Saber can't be used on the.
Correct. It won't have base size when it rolls out.
Yep.
Yep. He's gonna remove those shields.
Gotta hope to hit that base too.
Think he plays scrap heap here. That resource gen is just so valuable.
Yeah. It's not the best in the mid game, but it still can ramp you up.
So will Maul Saber be a hero here? Rolls the 2 side.
Gosh.
It's got to be frustrating as Carl there. I think you do mill here.
But honestly, he's still not in bad shape.
Hits that other price of failure. So let's see. What have we seen here?
2 price of failures
and a single leadership.
Oh, single leadership.
So only a single untap left in all of Outrun's deck. And if he doesn't draw it in his next hand, it's getting milled. That is correct. So he's going to draw a couple more cards, and then we'll see how much gets milled next turn. We're actually seeing a focus from the Maz's Goggles here into potentially a discard side? An indirect side. I don't think he realizes he cannot disarm that Seeker Droid. Actually, can he? Weapon or equipment? Nope. It's a droid. You cannot disarm. It's a droid. Carlos is like, no!
Leave me alone.
So, yeah, Carl not realizing that. He can still Bespin Wingguard here. Just to get a discard. But that Maz's Goggles focus was essentially wasted. So that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Carl says he's sad.
I don't know. I might have thought about the claim there, actually.
So yeah, I agree with you. He could have chosen to go for the claim there.
Oh, I think he definitely claimed there just instead of Bespin, just to get that Guardian. It's so huge right now. He's potentially might have saved the partisan.
Mm-hmm.
Although there he did
into the garbage chute and a second chance. Not that he has enough money yet for it.
But you roll Yoda quickly. And...
Lone Operative, an interesting card in this deck. If Yoda's the last survivor, if people go for the Jedha partisans, then Yoda being able to heal 3 is pretty solid. Mm-hmm. It has a 2 mill side on it anyways, which you kind of struggle with hand discard.
Yep.
And let's take a look here. Ooh, a focus rolled on that Seeker Droid. That is a big deal.
Yep.
I would almost consider electroshocking it. Or overconfidency in a couple dice.
Well, you do have the into the garbage chute if he does focus. You'll still take 2, but...
Maybe you might almost roll the Yoda here.
Yeah.
Plan to garbage chute this damaged Jedha this turn. No, Carl, no! Don't do it!
Yeah, that's probably a mistake.
Because then you get guaranteed value out of that Jedha.
Oof, there's a good probe.
No. It's not Philp.
Instant hand show.
Oops. Well, I guess he only has himself to blame for that. And he hits the garbage chute with that. So the garbage chute gets discarded.
We're still working out the kinks.
Yeah, I mean, it's the reason why I prefer playing live to TTS. TTS is much easier to make mistakes in. It's kind of a clunky interface. It's pretty impressive for not being built for the game specifically.
Sure.
So props to the guy who does the mods. But I guess he couldn't have saved the Jetta Partisan for that garbage chute then. So it just gets probed.
Yep.
And we see a Yoda special here. So we could see the special chain that involves the Maz's goggles. I think you're right. That might be the best play.
That's going to be huge at the end of the game, too, when he's down to a few cards left. Just getting those last hand cards is important. Have we seen an Ancient Saber yet? I don't think we have for that one.
1 and 2. Both are in his graveyard, so that is unfortunate.
Yeah. This could be close. And we did not see a leadership this turn, which means it's lurking. I mean, OTK is another one of these decks that plays pretty fair in that it doesn't have many cheats. It just relies on that high damage at the end of the turn, which these double removal cards can prey upon.
We're going to see that Star you have become to reroll 2 dice. It's going to choose that Yoda special. Oh, and it rolls back into that Yoda special. So that essentially was only a damage to himself.
And a 1 die reroll.
And all it did was give him a disrupt side, which is really not what he needs here. So I'm Carl. I think you actually, instead of taking the Maz's goggles, no, he's triggering Scrappy. You take a focus eventually over to that Jedha and try to resolve his 2 indirect next action.
Alrun isn't showing any damage now, right? He's got the +3, I believe.
+3 is all that is showing.
Yep.
He's going to special, probably mill another card. And we would like to see that 2 indirect there. No, that is a discard.
Huh.
Interesting. I guess I would be more concerned about making sure I get the double Jetta proc. Whereas if that 1 Jetta dies here, it will only be a single card. Boundless.
Ooh, trying to hit that auto leadership. And he got it, so...
That 1 discard. What's it going to hit?
Discard was the correct choice, I guess.
Let's see. Let's take a look here. What is his best chance? I think you basically...
You got 2 discards from hand. You can honestly re-roll to try and hit that Maz's Goggles special.
Leadership is going to come out right away here. So this is it, guys. This will determine the game, most likely. We need to see Seven Sister do work here, or else it is going to be all over. We can see a second chance come out this turn with that resource taken, or we could just see 2 removal cards played. I personally would prefer the 2 removal cards. It's just slightly better than the second chance, I think.
Yeah. It's going to save you more than 5.
There's still no base melee sides showing, but there is that focus, so I think you want to overconfidence after the focus comes out.
And you've also got rerolls on Night Sister. I don't know if you can deal that much, but...
You just never know. And this is the thing where maybe if he had that Guardian, it would be a pretty big deal here.
Yeah. Actually, can probably get close.
I'm going to choose to Electroshock the 2 focus, which I'm okay with. I might have considered Electroshocking the extra droid die, but the 2 focus is going to be valuable. It would have been just a 1 focus at that point. He's going to reroll that. He's going to ping to reroll. Rerolls a blank. So he doesn't have, honestly, Sarcastic's degree of skill.
This rolls a discard, and he's in good shape.
He rolls a natural
Oh my
discard,
gosh.
guys.
This is
So Carl has had some great games here. Ping to reroll into a resource. This is pretty good for Carl, actually.
yeah, because now he can do the second chance if he wants.
Mm-hmm.
There's a melee, right?
It is a 1 melee. So we're going to see the overconfidence come out.
Wow.
It's going to ping that Night Sister to death, I suppose.
Oh, and blanks. Oh
Actually,
my
no,
gosh.
that's his 6th damage on the Night Sister, I believe. And a Disrupt. So at this point, you just resolve the Sister Disrupt and roll out Sister again.
That's the best you're gonna do.
Ooh, chooses to use that extra Seeker Droid die. Is, I believe, the wrong choice there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because it reduces the value of like a potential like 3 focus there if he rolls the focus. You can't discard with the Night Sister. But whatever. He's gonna choose to deal all 4 just to get the Maul Saber reroll.
It's the resource.
Resolve a discard or 2.
So he doesn't get another round. Has to deal what, 18 damage?
18 damage.
I believe both second. No, there's this other second chance. Uh-oh.
And a Force Illusion even. Just
Oh my
being
gosh.
so good. Bespin Wingguard's gonna come out right away.
Yep. It's down to 1 card, and then no ancients, no, and he's got hyperspace jump, so this could be over pretty quickly.
I think you might roll Yoda here first.
Yeah.
Because Yoda has multiple dice that can roll hand discard. The tragic thing is that there are no events in here.
Yep.
So you can't rely on Miran's goggles to hit anything.
But this could just kill Yoda right here. But he's got Force Illusion.
Just 5 damage.
Oh, and double confidence. This is not looking good for Outrun.
And he hits the Maul Saber, which is not going to have any support when it rolls in here. Wow, so the bipartisan Yoda coming in to defeat the Bro TK and the Boba 7th. And he calls GG.
Wow. What a game.
So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I don't know how many of you there are, but we will be posting these videos to YouTube, to our casual channel. And so just for anyone who's still listening, still watching, we are taking, basically, if you go to the Contact Us page on our website, you can submit an application to be in the random drawing for being in the next time we do the series. It should be 2 weeks from now on Tuesday. And you will get a chance to dethrone Carl, who has become our first ever King of the Hill, and has earned himself a training session with us. So thanks for watching, guys, and until next time.
See ya.